What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great week so far. We've got another fragrance rotation video. I've been a little bit behind just because I've been so busy, but as always, I'm going to leave the name of the fragrances, the day and the date that I wore them in the description. And if you only see 13 fragrances, that's because on Tuesday I wore Boadicea the Victorious Complex 2020, and then Monday the following week I wore the same fragrance, which is pretty typical of me, just getting in a newer fragrance, trying to get more of a feel for it. But this one is very polarizing, so we'll get to that in a second. But first, on Monday, this is an attar from Shareef. This is called Zummurud. And this is a very, very interesting attar. Definitely more of kind of a grassy, outdoor wood. Very complex, very strong, as you would expect for a pure attar. Not going to be for everybody, but this is something that I've enjoyed so much, especially on the dry down, that I will probably buy a 2.5 ml, which is not cheap from the house of Shareef, but the quality of their oils are just absolutely incredible. And the base of this, I believe, is Malaki. There may be a couple other ouds, I may be mistaken, but it does use as the base a very, very special aged oud as part of the base for the attar, along with some other ingredients. Just extremely high quality and wonderful stuff. So on Tuesday, we got Boadicea the Victorious Complex 2020. I was really looking forward to this fragrance. It's got leather, ambergris, I believe. It's got some pine, very aromatic. And I have to say, upon first sniff and upon the first spray, I was actually considering returning this because it is so strong, guys. It really is. The pine and the basil and some of the other green aromatics. I think it's got some sage in there as well. But the top notes are extremely strong and aromatic. Very green, very piney. So for me, it's very confusing because part of it makes me think, maybe it's a warm weather fragrance with those aromatics, and I'm just going to have to give this more of a chance and let it settle down in the bottle and wear it during cooler weather, because with the amount of pine and ambergris, and again, the other green aromatics in this fragrance, I think cooler weather would really settle it down, get into the base notes a little bit more, and the heat, it just comes too aggressive for me. Some other people may like that kind of aromatic style of fragrance to where it really is overpowering. For me personally, I think this is going to go a lot better in the cooler weather, so we'll just give it a try. But it is a very good quality fragrance. Really just depends if you find that category appealing. For me, it was a little bit challenging upon first spray. What's not challenging is one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection, Bond Number 9 Dubai Gold. Really, really nice, sweet, spicy, boozy, musky, lots of patchouli and woods, a little bit of bitter orange and cognac along with some saffron and ginger. Just 100% class, absolute class, great longevity, projection, development. There's a reason this is one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection. So Bond Number 9 Dubai Gold, that was on Wednesday. We got Neptunes Trident from the house of Argos. Beautiful fresh fragrance. You got some tea, petitgrain, citrus notes, some musk, I think vetiver, ambergris in here, which is not overdone. This is not an overly marine fragrance, even though it definitely does have a lot of that in there. Definitely more about the tea and the citrus, along with some of that petitgrain in there. Just an overall crowd pleaser. Some people really complain about the longevity of this one. For me, this lasts like 14 to 16 hours, even longer. And it's really just about going nose deaf to it. Of course, this fragrance isn't going to smell the exact same as when you first spray it on. You do lose a lot of those juicy citrus top notes. That's the reason they're called top notes. And then you really get into more of that base of the ambergris, the vetiver. But when you look at the extrait that this is done at, the concentration, it's done in an extrait parfum, and you look at the structure, I just can't see where people complain about the longevity. For me, it's got plenty of that, plenty of projection, and I get a lot of compliments on it. So on Thursday, I believe it is, or Friday, we have Nebulous from Boadicea the Victorious. Maybe the best fragrance that they've ever done. That's saying a lot from the house of Boadicea, and the price tag that this commands, it definitely should be considered as one of those. But it really is about, do you like rose, oud, saffron, and musk fragrances? And do you have an appreciation and the knowledge for the quality of oud that they use in this for it to even be worth it for you to purchase? For me, obviously, that answer was yes. And the quality and the scent trail and the longevity on this is everything you would expect for a fragrance that demands this price tag. And hard to say because there are so many different ones representing the rose, oud, saffron, and musk category, and probably excluding like pure oud oils and even attars that go down that same route of the oud, musk, rose, and saffron. For me, Nebulous has got to be the best in my collection. It's absolutely incredible. Again, price tag probably should be, but if you're a collector and you love that category of fragrances, it's worth getting your hands on. So on Saturday, we got Raja Parfums Isola Blue. Very musky, woody, fruity, marine. You get a little bit of coconut and lime in there, so you get a little bit of like sweetness with a little bit of acidity and zest in there as well. Fruit notes. I mean, this is one of, in my opinion, Raja Parfum's best work. I mean, I love his oud series. I love Diaghilev. There's a lot of stuff that he's done that I love with this in terms of crowd pleasers, compliments. Isola Blue is really, really good. So next we got La Primavera on Monday. La Primavera is extremely very green, floral, slightly soapy fragrance, but extremely powerful and long-lasting. I think the musk and the vetiver has a lot to do with that. One of those fragrances I feel like it goes better in warmer weather just because of the structure and the DNA of it. That is just incredible stuff, though. You got to be in the mood to wear it. And again, for me personally, not really a cooler weather fragrance, more spring or summer. Oh, which one is this? I got so many from the golf series. I think this is the Qatar. Yeah, this is the Qatar extrait, which is a newer one for me in terms of purchasing it. I think it's been out for a couple years, but this one's really nice. It's got a little bit of that kind of funky barnyard animalic oud with some nice fruit notes, some understated sweetness. It has candy floss accord, which I had to look up what that really was, but it definitely does add some sweetness. It kind of cuts through any of that barnyard kind of animalic notes that you would get from some of the base notes of this fragrance. Really, really, really good stuff if you like that category of fragrances. Next up, again, I didn't do Monday because Complex 2020 from Boadicea I wore on Monday, so this was actually on Tuesday of the next following week. And now we got Reflection 45. This was on Wednesday. There's not a lot to say about this fragrance. This is one of the best ones, in my opinion, that Amouage has ever made. If you followed the channel, I'm not a big fan of the regular Reflection 45, but this one has all the resins and all the things that you would expect from an Amouage fragrance in there. It makes it a lot more heavy, a lot more closer to that house style of Amouage, and it just really makes it a lot more interesting and a lot more dynamic of a fragrance. It's still fresh enough to where even at the concentration that you can still wear it during high heat situations, which is mainly what I use Reflection 45 for, but it's certainly strong enough to where you can wear it during the winter time. So next up we got Beril from the House of Unique Luxury. I love this fragrance. It's like a slightly soapy, clean, amber, aromatic fragrance. You got a lot of green notes in here. I think you got cardamom, coriander. It's got some slight sweetness with that soapiness too, but this is just an all-around crowd pleaser. People really seem to love this, and it goes well in any situation. Beril, I just get really good usage out of it. It's one of those fragrances that's so good. You don't really have to overthink the situation. You just grab it, spray it on. You know you're going to smell great. Now, kind of the opposite of that, for me, Opal from Boadicea the Victorious, this is like very regal, woods, musk, a little bit kind of creamy. You know, it's got orris butter and cocoa butter, coffee, bay leaf, just a very complex fragrance when you look at all the ingredients of this, but really what you need to know is it smells extremely good, it is unique, it lasts and projects well, and for me it really gives off the vibes of a dress-up fragrance, so I'm really enjoying Opal right now, the newest release from Boadicea as far as their Zodiac series is concerned, and that is just really, really good stuff there. So next, Charon's Vail from the House of Argos, warm, resinous. I think it has to do with a lot of the oud, labdanum, saffron. This fragrance is great, especially for fall or winter time. It's not overpowering to where you couldn't wear it in the spring or summer, but just with those accords and the warmth and the resins and the spices of this, I really feel that that goes best during fall or winter time. You know, weather really, at least where I'm at, under 65 degrees, 70 degrees. Last and definitely not least, this is an overwhelming fragrance, especially upon first spray. This is Bond number 9, Dubai Black Sapphire. It's got neroli, beeswax, rose, saffron, very strong oud and wood notes, and it is a lot. It is a lot upon the first spray and smelling it out of the bottle. I can see why some people do not like this fragrance. No qualms with that at all. I can see why it would be too overwhelming for some people. But if you're brave enough and you can, maybe get a sample or a decant somewhere, I know it's kind of expensive to blind buy a product like this, but man, an hour after this goes on skin, this is a very highly complimented fragrance. The rose and the oud and really all the ingredients are such high quality in here. Very, very high concentration of oils in here too. Most of the Dubai series seem to be, but for me, the oil concentration and the way the oil shines on my skin is actually even longer than Bond number 9 signature scent. So that lets me know it's probably around 30% or more oil concentration for this, or maybe partially that's just the heavy base notes in the structure. But either way, this is just a powerhouse fragrance, Black Sapphire is, and it is really, really good if you like that category of fragrances and if you're brave enough to give it a chance, because again, spraying it off first spray, smelling it out of the bottle, it is very strong and very overwhelming. But yeah, definitely one of those fragrances that is magical in the air once you let it dry down. So hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I'm going to leave the name, the day and the date that I wore all these in the description. Good to see you guys again. Hopefully getting some more videos out soon. I got a lot of stuff upcoming for the channel. Hope you have a great week.